You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, a possible illegal gambling operation in southeast Kansas.
But first, a teacher is recovering thanks in no small part to a group of high school students.
And we've got a few clouds out there, partly cloudy to start our day. Clouds increasing. One more day of melting before temperatures drop this weekend. A look at your forecast coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 a.m. on this Thursday, January the 29th. Happy Thursday to everybody. Of course, had that snow. It's led to school cancellations. Still a number of them, as you can see. A lot of those are in rural areas, of course, where we haven't had as much melting. We haven't had as much, road crews don't get out there. Neighborhood streets, for example, as well. So while a lot of the main roads are looking a lot better, we just haven't been doing a lot of melting. Did a little yesterday. We'll do a little more today, which we will discuss a little later. But we're going to head up to St. Louis, where some students helped a teacher.
Yeah, a St. Louis County teacher is recovering thanks in part to the actions of a group of high school students.
Caroline Hecker reports.
Blood pressure, 92/58.
Down this hill, inside a garage,
I'll palpate his abdomen.
is a group of students pursuing a career of helping others.
Sir, can you hear me?
South Tech's firefighter and EMT program is made up of high school students from across the area, preparing them for the real world before they even graduate high school.
Can I get a pulse on you?
But for these 4 friends, that real-world experience came one day last fall. The group was studying here in the garage when they heard yelling coming from the nearby hill.
All of a sudden, we heard people yelling that they need EMTs.
They jumped up, making their way up the hill to see what was going on.
And we're like, where's he at, where's he at? We see like a Dunkin' cup off the side, and we like start swiveling our heads, and we look down on the embankment, and the patient's there bleeding.
The boys say a teacher from another class tripped going down the hill, hitting his head and rolling down an embankment.
He was awake from what I could see, but he wasn't alert to what was happening around him. I gave him a little sternum rub to see if he would respond to that, which he didn't.
Immediately, the 4 friends began triaging, while other students called 911.
The skills that we learned, I think, helped a lot. Like it was muscle memory. We were down in it, we were doing it, and I think we helped.
Meanwhile, Fenton Fire Protection District was on its way. Its job made much easier and quicker thanks to the students' training.
They knew to keep the scene safe, they knew to help out and try to stabilize the patient, and then they knew that our paramedics coming in, they knew what information that they would be looking for.
The man suffered serious injuries but is recovering. The experience, one the boys say, has solidified their career choice.
It really showed me that I want to really pursue this career, and I'm able to help as much as I can.
For now, it's back to training with the dummy.
I'm going to put him on a backboard as well.
Ready for that next call, whenever.
Well, just impressive. Incredible actions, and it's always nice. We've talked a lot about career exploration in high school,
Yeah.
We learned ourselves with Jet HD, Joplin Eagles Television at Joplin High School, so to see them be able to do it and then use those skills in real life is incredible.
Certainly beneficial, and they made a huge difference for that teacher as well. And our temperatures, they're going to have a huge difference, about 10-15 degrees colder tomorrow than what we're expecting today. We'll talk about that a little later, but first we want to start your Thursday off with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh. Partly cloudy skies, there's still snow out there. It's going to take a little while for it to go away, but eventually it will go away. Westco camera, 7th and range line in Joplin, looking good still again place. So, because we've been a little bit warmer the last couple of days, but we're still just not warm enough to see substantial melting. Now, I want to talk about this stuff right here down that center line. All right, nobody drives there, obviously, but the issue we have is we'll get some melting today, but with temperatures really dropping this weekend, some of this melted business could refreeze. And we do have concerns for the potential for some patchy ice on roadways, including ones that may already be clear as we head into the weekend, which we'll discuss with you again in detail a little later. All right, 20th and Rangeline, MoDOT camera there, looking back to the south. Plenty of folks on the road, things looking again better. Neighborhood streets, rural roads, back roads still need some help, need a little more melting, but otherwise not bad. Some light fog across parts of southeast Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma. Again, freezing fog. While we don't have any freezing fog advisories, it is something you want to watch out for, especially if we get any denser fog today or tomorrow morning. We're at 25 in Joplin, 23 in Pittsburgh. And around the region, we've got low, mid, upper 20s with Cassville, Monette, the warmer spots, 30 in Cassville, 31 in Monette. And you factor in the breeze, and there's nobody that's really better off than anyone else. I mean, I guess Cassville, your wind chill's 26. Most of these, look at these up north, into the low mid-teens, mid-upper teens as well, and low mid-20s, so definitely cold. Gusty east winds today, low pressure system near Tulsa by noon. By the evening, late afternoon, early evening, it is now situated near Cassville, Bentonville. We'll have gusty north winds on the backside of this thing. Could get between about 11 and 2, an isolated flurry or some drizzle. Not going to end up to much, but it's a possibility. Upper 20s by 9. We reach our highs pretty quickly and then level out in the mid to upper 30s before temperatures drop through the evening and overnight. And again, gusty east winds pushing 20. Gusty north winds tomorrow. Temperatures much colder into the weekend. We'll talk about that and when a warm up will finally get here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Warrants were served at Galaxy Food Mart locations in Columbus and Weir, Kansas yesterday. According to authorities, evidence was seized in connection with illegal gambling activities that were taking place at both locations. The case is part of an ongoing investigation of illegal gambling operations in southeast Kansas. The sheriff's office says their findings in the case will be submitted to the Cherokee County Attorney's Office. Well, a car overturns in a crash near Asbury yesterday morning. Just before 5 a.m., 911 received reports of a vehicle flipped over on Sumac Road, just west of Missouri 43 in Jasper County. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says a Chevy Malibu traveled off the left side of the road, hit a fence and a tree before overturning. The crash remains under investigation. Well, scammers are looking to take advantage of you during tax season, and the Better Business Bureau wants you to stay one step ahead. One scheme involving a company called Anderson Tate and Associates out of the Kansas City area has generated nearly 700 complaints and prompted an investigation. Scammers are using aggressive tactics, sending threatening emails, demanding payment within hours to avoid legal action. They cite fake case numbers and threaten wage garnishment, credit bureau reporting, and even jail time, all illegal under federal debt collection laws. If a suspicious debt collector contacts you, do not make an immediate payment. The Better Business Bureau has some more red flags you can watch out for on their website. Well, hundreds gathered at the Kansas State House in Topeka yesterday for a school choice rally hosted by the Kansas Policy Institute and the National School Choice Awareness Foundation. Students and supporters met with legislators to discuss the importance of flexible education options that meet the diverse needs of children. Opponents argue public tax dollars should be reserved exclusively for public schools. The event was part of National School Choice Week activities statewide. Well, millions of Americans are still digging out from snow and ice and bundling up, with the deep freeze gripping much of the country. That means getting around can be dangerous. In Missouri, a van landed upside down after sliding off a highway. At least 50 people have died from these winter storm conditions or weather-related accidents. And road salt corrodes our cars and damages bridges, costing millions in repairs. But now Missouri S&T researchers are testing beet juice as a natural alternative with a $450,000 MoDOT grant. Garrett Hamilton shows us this sweet solution could change winter road maintenance.
After a big snowstorm, how many times have you noticed the buildup of salt and other road treatment chemicals on the side of your car? Well, this car isn't in that bad of shape. However, it is corrosive, and it's just one of the things that student research and faculty researchers alike tell me that they are closely examining as they look for alternative snow and ice melt methods.
There's lots of roads here, and we use salt on those roads all the time. So knowing what the impacts of that are and knowing how we can lessen those impacts is very important. And to see, is something they're already putting on the road actually doing more harm than good?
Kaylee Denbo is a master's student studying environmental engineering at Missouri S&T in Rolla. She's part of a team researching how to reduce or replace traditional salt treatment methods, paid for through a $450,000 grant from MoDOT. For Denbo, Dr. Joel Birkin, and other graduate students, this research is about changing the ratio of salt and beet juice, which they believe will help ice melt better than traditional methods.
By adding the beet juice in and having the beet salt brine mixture, we can actually de-ice and anti-ice at lower temperatures that we have less impact on the environment, as the beet juice is a natural organic material.
And so far, preliminary results have shown beet juice made the recent snowfall easier to clear, at least on the small scale on a campus sidewalk. But further testing is needed before any compounds can be used on Missouri roads and before conclusive results can be made about environmental impacts. And these aren't the only things that are being studied. Dr. Kamal Kayat walked me through some of his students' research on the impact of traditional salt melting methods on the structure of concrete, which were done by putting concrete blocks through freeze and thaw cycles while being covered in salt solutions.
And we look at the scaling of the concrete. You can see here a sample that is under testing. The finished surface is intact versus another sample that is here, where you can see some of the paste that is starting to be scaled out, eroded.
And he says his research is not just limited to the structure of concrete. Traditional bridges are designed for a 75 to 100 year lifespan, and the number one cause of damage is corrosion of the steel by road salts. The team hopes the beet juice mixture will lead to less corrosion.
Well, according to Missouri S&T research, switching to less corrosive ice melting solutions like beet juice would provide long-term savings by extending the life of Missouri's infrastructure. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Emily Frankowski from Connect to Culture is in the studio, showcasing the upcoming performances for the month of February. Well, welcome back. We've got Emily Frankowski with Connect to Culture in the studio with us this morning. Good morning, Emily. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning.
Well, I know Connect to Culture is always so busy, and they have some incredible performances and shows coming up.
Yes, we like to be busy. We've got a show just this evening, so hopefully everyone will join us for Barricade Boys later. I think there's a few tickets left.
I know. I'm excited. I got mine. I'm like, okay, we're ready.
You're safe.
I'm safe.
Well, we've got in February, we've got a packed schedule. We've got 3 more shows. And the first one that's coming up in February is the day after my birthday. It's February 12th. Maybe I'm saying it's in honor of my birthday, but it's the Javon Jackson Quartet. And that is Thursday, February 12th at 7 p.m. It's kind of a homecoming concert because Javon Jackson is a Carthage native.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and he's performed in Joplin before when we brought Charles McPherson to town. He's a notable jazz musician as well. But, you know, Javon has a history. He played with Art Blakey's Jazz Messengers when his very early career, but he just has a special way, with the jazz saxophone and his quartet coming to the Cornell complex with Connect to Culture. And he's also a teacher of jazz studies at a university. So we're really excited to see his take on jazz, straightforward jazz, soulful. If you are a, jazz aficionado or someone that's new to jazz, this is the concert for you.
Oh, amazing. It sounds like it's going to be great.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're excited to bring him back to the area.
Incredible.
And then if you love piano music, if you love America, if you love Glenda Austin, this is the performance for you. Glenda Austin is a notable Joplin pianist and educator. She's known throughout the country for her wonderful piano playing, and she is also a teacher of piano, and she plays a lot with the Missouri Southern groups out there. But she's going to be presenting an American love song, and so this is kind of in celebration of the 250th anniversary of America, and so she's going to have a lot of different genres in her performance. A lot of times when she comes to Connect to Culture, she brings special guests as well. So I can't tell you anything right now, but be prepared for some special guests to take the stage with Glenda as well. But get your tickets for this early. I'm sure it's going to sell out because she always has a huge crowd and she has a lot of fans out there, including myself.
Amazing.
Yes. And then we end February with a bit of mystery and intrigue with Aquila Theater in Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Hound of the Baskervilles. Now, this is a stage adaptation of that classic novel, so they kind of have a spin on it. It's a bit of a play within a play. If you have read this book, you know that it's a really, it's a mystery. This hound is, haunting this family. They think someone was murdered because of this supernatural hound. But you'll see that this is going to be a really interactive show. They will bring people into the play. Ooh. And Aquila Theater is one of the foremost presenters of classical theater within the United States. We had them before with Pride and Prejudice. That was a sellout. So I would also encourage to get your tickets early because this is going to be a popular one.
It sounds like all of these shows are going to be so incredible and so fun. All the ones that come to Connect to Culture are.
Yes,
so if people are hoping to, purchase tickets, want to get these early, because like you said, they sell out so often, where should they be looking to go?
Yeah, the best place to go is to look at connecttoculture.org first. Click on that performance tab. You can see all the shows coming up. You can buy them online through our website. You can also call us at 417-621-9824. And you can also come down to the Cornell Complex. The Connect to Culture box office is inside. And we're open Tuesday through Saturday from 1 to 5. So you can buy them in person if you like.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Emily. It's always great getting to have you on. And it sounds like an incredible lineup coming up for February.
Yep. Thanks for supporting us. And we're really excited to get these shows on the road.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News 720 on this Thursday morning. We're starting with the future track where between approximately 11 and 2 we could get some flurries, maybe a little wintry mix, maybe even a little drizzle depending on where you are, where your temperatures are. So not going to add up to anything, but don't be surprised if you do see a little something falling from the sky. It's courtesy of low pressure that by noon will be near Tulsa, and it's going to track east-northeast, and by about 5 it's right here between Bentonville and Cassville. And so that's why, again, maybe later a couple of additional flurries or sprinkles far down south will be possible. But again, not going to add up to much. Most of us won't see anything other than colder temperatures. Clouds will increase through the day. We're mostly cloudy. Will remain that way overnight tonight into our Friday as well. And future track, hinting at a flurry or two Friday. I'd say it's not likely, but even if you saw something, again, not going to add up to much of anything. But it is going to be about 10 to 15 degrees colder tomorrow than where we're going to be today, setting the stage for a very cold weekend. Not much on the future track. Skies clearing on our Friday, eventually clear skies overnight from Friday into Saturday. We're clear to start, partly cloudy as we head into the afternoon and evening. A few more clouds as we go overnight Saturday into Sunday. So again, not much in terms of precipitation, certainly good. But we have ice concerns this weekend because with temperatures dropping pretty significantly again this weekend, a lot of roadways where melting is taking place or has taken place, we could be seeing things refreeze out there. So even on some of the main roads where it's been clear, you could get some melting that then turns into some sheets of ice here and there. So again, you don't need to stay home this weekend, although once I show you the temperatures, you might decide to. But you do need to watch out for patchy ice really anywhere in the area. That's going to be a big concern as we head into the weekend, because it's going to lead to some slick spots, and you got to just be careful, because especially when we come to black ice. And the difference is with black ice, it's a thin layer of ice. Now, it doesn't take much ice to cause your car to slide, but it's a thin layer that is almost invisible. It's called black ice because it's such a thin layer that the road looks fine until you hit that patch. You can sometimes tell it where it's a little shiny, a little reflective out there, but it's not always easy to see, so do be cautious. All right, there's some partly cloudy skies right now. Clouds increasing through the morning, low 20s to start, low 30s by 11 a.m. Our highs today. We're going to reach them somewhat early and then level out for a bit into the mid to upper 30s, maybe some low 40s down south, east winds gusting to 20. Now again, as we get on the backside of that low pressure, winds will begin to shift out of the north, and we're going to drop down into the mid-teens tonight. So tonight starts that concern for some refreezing. Then, take a look. This is what I was saying. You don't have to stay in this weekend, but you see these numbers. You may choose to stay in this weekend just because. We'll be in the mid-20s tomorrow, north winds gusting to 20. Teens and 20s Saturday, upper 20s on Sunday, single-digit lows, teens Sunday night. So again, do be cautious and bundle up if you are heading out. Now, the good news, though, is take a look at next week. I'll just get out of the way. Just look at those numbers. They are so nice. They are so much more pleasant. A few showers possible, liquid showers, not frozen showers of any kind. Tuesday and Wednesday, temperatures hanging out in the 40s, maybe even the low 50s toward the end of next week. So we'll get a lot more melting done then. We just got a few more days of really cold weather to get through. That is a check of your forecast. We will be back with more right after this.
Well, topping Health Watch, new research suggests helping raise your grandchildren is good for the brain. The study the American Psychological Association shows grandparents who play with, read to, or cook for their grandkids scored higher on memory and verbal fluency tests than those who did not. It also says looking after your grandchildren will help slow the cognitive decline in older adults. Being a night owl may make you prone to heart disease. Researchers say night owls have an increased cardiometabolic risk because their daily routine does not match with the internal body clock. Everybody's circadian rhythm is a little different in what's called a chronotype. Chronotype is our body's built-in preference for when we feel more awake and when we naturally want to sleep. It's partly influenced by genetics and biology. Night owls tend to feel more alert later in the day and go to sleep later, while early birds feel alert earlier and tend to go to bed and wake up earlier. The American Heart Association says heart disease is the leading cause of death in the U.S. Findings are published in the Journal of American Heart Association. Well, one mental health expert is offering some insight and advice to those who struggle with being on time. Cleveland Clinic psychologist Dr. Shavana Child says that chronic tardiness can stem from mental health conditions like anxiety, depression, and ADHD. She says depression can cause low motivation and anxiety often makes people feel preoccupied. Meanwhile, ADHD can lead to organizational challenges as well as time blindness. Dr. Shavana says the best way to combat these challenges is by planning ahead. She suggests prepping the night before for your plans and setting multiple alarms to help keep track of time. Well, coming up next, Neo's show is asking help from the community to build up the ranks in Missouri's Small Town Showcase.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KLAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:31. I'm Samantha Walker. Missouri voters mobilized to protect their petition rights as a statewide coalition brings its fight to Joplin. Respect Mo voters held a town hall about protecting Missouri's citizen initiative petition process. The group says they want to prevent politicians from overturning voter-approved measures and using ballot language that may confuse voters. The coalition says they're seeking 800 volunteers to help gather 300,000 petition signatures by spring. This event not only helped train attendees to collect signatures that could lead to a new Missouri constitutional amendment, but also educated residents about their constitutional rights.
We are going to see Amendment 4 on the ballot, which is a direct attack on our ability to use the Citizens Initiative process by placing a new goal that people have to meet, which would allow for a very small minority of Missourians to more or less have veto power on any initiative that Missourians try to bring forward.
The nonpartisan group claims they've already raised more than $650,000 and collected more than 125,000 signatures toward their goal. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, again, it is cold out there this morning, but it looks okay. We still got some snow. We're still going to have some snow. And some of this is probably going to hang around with us through the weekend as temperatures drop. But we'll get a little more melting in today. Of course, live look downtown Pittsburgh. Westco camera 7th and range line. There's some of those clouds out there as well and some clear skies. And yeah, that's still snow down there. KDOT camera 69400 looking north along 69 here. And see that snow in the middle here? That's what we want to watch out for as we head into the weekend, because we do get some melting, some that could melt and then refreeze. So that's what we were talking about with our ice concerns into the weekend. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin, looking back to the south, looking good as well. Fog tracker, again, we've had some light fog, parts of southeast Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma. Freezing fog is still a potential, but of course the denser the fog, the greater the concern with freezing fog out there, because it freezes on your windshield as you drive, it freezes on the roadways, freezes on your door handles. It's an unpleasant situation, but thankfully it hasn't been a serious issue for us so far, but it's still that possibility today and then again possibly tomorrow morning. 25 in Joplin, 23 in Pittsburgh, and a look at temperatures around the region. We got low, mid, upper 20s. A little warmer. Monette, you're the warm spot right now, sitting at 30. But then we factor in the breeze. I don't know why it moved. Can I move this? No, I can't. Okay. Well, it's 23 is what it feels like in Monette. We've got teens and 20s for those feels like temperatures out there. Low pressure system passing on the southern edges of our area could bring a couple of stray flurries, maybe a little drizzle as we head into the afternoon, mainly between 11 and 2, but could get another brief round late this evening, especially into southwest Missouri and along and south of I-44. Nothing expected to accumulate, but that potential will be there. We're into the upper 20s by 9. Highs, we reach them early and then level out for a bit, right around the mid-upper 30s. Temperatures dropping later, east winds gusting to 20. Temperatures drop significantly tonight. We're going to be 15 degrees colder tomorrow than what we're expecting today, and even colder into the weekend. Details on that in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Thanks, Chris. The Missouri House is considering a bill that would bring changes to solid waste management. The legislation proposes a $2.50 tipping fee per ton at landfills starting October 2027. The bill would also eliminate solid waste management districts, including Region M in southwest Missouri.
I completely understand, needing to make the best use out of every dollar. But I feel like this board has been put in place, by our communities and our bylaws to do just that. And, we've always done that.
The bill allocates $5 million annually for landfill cleanup and $800,000 for market development. Region M officials say the change threatens recycling centers in smaller cities and increases costs for larger communities like Joplin. The district board approved a resolution opposing the bill. If passed, the district shut down August 28th. Well, in Pittsburgh, a toddler approaches his second birthday in February, but his family faces a different reality than most. Benny suffered a near-fatal incident at his daycare in June 2024. Benny now struggles with a neurological disorder. The daycare workers were charged with misdemeanor crimes, and this prompted Benny's parents to create Benny's Bill.
They were convicted with misdemeanor charges. And with that only put one of them in jail for 60 days, bless you, and one of them in jail for 30 days. My son was served a life sentence on that day.
Benny's bill aims to increase criminal penalties for endangering children under 6 years old, changing charges from misdemeanors to felonies. The bill is currently in the Kansas House. If it passes there, it would next go to the Senate. Well, Neosho is rallying to climb the ranks in Missouri's Small Town Showcase. Currently sitting at 12th place, community leaders say there's still time to push Neosho into the top 5. Voting closes February 1st at 5 p.m. and every vote counts. Residents are encouraged to cast their ballots online and spread the word.
Beautiful place to live. I think we have a lot of people that have been here a long time, and we have so many new people that are moving here and choosing it as a place to live, but we just have people that have been willing to make investments in our community, whether that be our business owners, our educational schools, the Crowder College. We just have so many opportunities for growth here.
They say every vote counts, and you can find a link to vote on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Valentine's Day staple, Sweethearts, is adapting to new phrases used in modern dating. In Consumer Watch, Spotify says it now represents 1/3 of the music industry's recorded music revenue. Spotify announced the news yesterday, further solidifying its position as the world's largest music streaming service. The announcement comes after the company noted it dished out $11 billion to the music industry in 2025, which is the largest yearly payment ever. Spotify says the payment brings the company's total payouts to the music industry to about almost $70 billion. Spotify's success has helped more artists earn 6 figures annually from the streaming service alone, with independent artists and labels pulling in half of all royalties revenue. Spotify says one of its main goals is to help new music and new artists reach fans. Well, Dairy Queen is sending love this Valentine's Day as the chain announces the return of 2 fan favorite items. The fast food chain's Valentine's Day items include a red velvet cake blizzard and a V-Day themed cupcake. The Red Velvet Cake Blizzard is returning as Dairy Queen's February Blizzard of the Month. Meanwhile, those planning a Valentine's Day celebration can buy the chain's Treats for Two deal, which includes 2 Valentine's cupcakes for $6. Customers can grab the items in store, on the chain's mobile app, or online at participating locations. The offer began Monday and will be available for a limited time. Well, one coffee chain is hit by Cupid's arrow with the release of its new Valentine's Day menu. Dunkin' has announced its newest themed menu items, including an array of new drinks. Customers looking for some traditional caffeine can try the Perfect Matcha, Buff Chai, or the Toxic Espresso, Cloud and Sweet on You Cloud Latte. Those who want something more fruity can try the Hard Ice Daydream Refresher, the Chocolate-Covered Strawberry Daydream Refresher, or the Blush Spritz Refresher. The chain has also introduced some new menu items like the Brownie Batter Classic Donut and the Cupid's Choice Donut Valentine's Day Sprinkle. Munchkins will also be available in limited edition heart-shaped tins. And those are our top consumer stories. Let's look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:44 now on this Thursday morning. Closing in on the weekend, but it's going to be another bitterly cold weekend for us. At least this time, there's no snow associated with the cold there. But today, between 11 and 2, and then again later this evening, mainly south of I-44, we could get a stray flurry, a little bit of drizzle, a little wintry mix. Won't add up to much of anything, but it is a possibility as this low pressure tracks right on the southern fringes of our region through the evening. Now, flow around, or the wind direction around the low pressure is counterclockwise. So as we get on the backside of it, our east winds will begin to shift out of the north, and that's going to help bring in much colder air as we head into the weekend. So for tomorrow, we are looking at mostly cloudy skies initially, and then eventually we should see some clearing. I think Future Track may be holding on to the clouds a little too long, but either way, no precipitation expected. It's also hinting at maybe a flurry or two, which is not out of the question, just not very likely, and even if you did see something, it's not going to add up to much. Skies clear late Friday into our Saturday. Then by Saturday afternoon, we start to go partly cloudy, and eventually a few more clouds working in as we go late Saturday into our Sunday. But in all those situations, we are dry. The concern we have is going to be with ice formation this weekend. We're going to get some more melting done today. And as we go into the weekend and these temperatures take a dive, which we will show you in just a moment, we have concerns that some of that stuff that melts could refreeze and could lead to slick spots even on some of the main roads that are currently clear. So if you're traveling this weekend, which we're saying it's fine to do so, it's not like last weekend where we urged you to stay where you were. You want to be cautious and be on the lookout for the potential for black ice and patchy icy spots just really around the region heading into this weekend. So do be cautious. Now I'll show you the temperatures in another minute or so for the weekend. You may want to stay inside anyway, but if you are heading out, just be prepared. All right, today though, low 20s to start, low 30s by 11 o'clock this morning. We're expected to hit highs early today and then level out for a bit until we get on the backside of that low pressure system. And then we'll start to drop. So upper 30s, maybe some low 40s down south. East winds today, gusting to 20. As we go into the evening and overnight, mostly cloudy. We're eventually down to the mid-teens with that north breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. North winds gusting to 20 tomorrow keeps our wind chills about 5 to 15 above zero. Take a look. That's what I'm talking about. We're only in the mid-20s tomorrow. Teens and 20s on Saturday. 20s again on Sunday. Single-digit lows. Maybe even close to zero for some of us tomorrow night. And then only into the teens Sunday nights. That's what I was saying. Even if you're not traveling this weekend, you have good reason to stay indoors because it is going to be cold. Now, the good news is our warm-up next week, still on track. Rain, liquid precipitation, not frozen. Tuesday, Wednesday, so late Tuesday into early Wednesday, some showers possible. But those temperatures, 40s, maybe even the low 50s as we head into next weekend. So it will warm up. We'll get considerably more melting done and should be able to say farewell to the snow next week. We just have a few more cold days to get through until we get to that warm-up. That is a check of your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, one beloved condiment brand is helping football fans gear up for the big game with a full keg of ketchup. Heinz is offering what it calls the keg-chup.
Okay. It's a beer style keg. It's filled with 114 ounces of the brand's ketchup. I hope it was theirs, not somebody else's. And it comes with a spigot attached to make it look like you're pouring a pint. How wonderful.
Heinz says 84% of fans report making at-home snacks like fries and wings, increasing the demand for ketchup. But fans can get a chance to win the keg chup through Heinz's Instagram account from now until Thursday, January 29th, which is today, or by signing up at heinzkegchup.com. See, I can't even make it. I like
That's
ketchup.
like the thing, though, that they keep at McDonald's. You know, they got the little condiment island, and I think that's what they have down
I would
there.
just be so worried about waste because, like, I like ketchup, but I can't seem to make it through a bottle without it, like, expiring. It just, lives in the fridge for a long time.
Well, okay.
Maybe
that's
for restaurants. That's a cool
I like
idea.
condiments to a point. My wife will verify that. I typically don't like condiments. Like, it's got to be the right amount in the right situation. So that's way too much ketchup for me. For everybody else, though, I'm sure that's a fair amount. All right, those chalky sweetheart things? I like them. I know it's like candy corn. I like candy corn. And people are like, ew, you're so gross.
It's classic.
It is, and it's good, and these are acceptable as well. And then guess what? Spangler Sweethearts, they're acknowledging the realities of the current economy by adding some relatable sayings to their conversation hearts.
Among the new sayings, share login, split rent, cook for two, and carpool. Now, don't worry if you're a fan of the classics like Cutie Pie and Marry Me.
The company says you'll still be able to find those sayings in boxes and bags of sweethearts at retailers nationwide. Split rent. I like these. These are good.
These are fun, but
that
also
one-
a little depressing.
I think the one on the bottom there in the little picture, it said buy in bulk.
Also,
Heinz Keg Chup is, there we go. We're combining the two.
Well, Longhorn Steakhouse is helping steak lovers make things official this Valentine's Day with their preferred steak temperature, that is, with steak commitment rings.
What?
Featuring real silver, real Longhorn seasonings, and most importantly, Longhorn's real fresh, never frozen steak inside the stone. The customizable limited edition rings celebrate carnivores' long-term commitment to how they like their steak cooked.
I like steak, but I'm not wearing it on my finger. Well, it's crafted in two unique styles and 5 temperatures from well done, medium well, medium rare, and rare. The color of the stone matches the color on the inside of a perfectly cooked steak at Longhorn. Now, Longhorn steak commitment rings will be available beginning February the 4th at 2 p.m. for $50 with free shipping and a Valentine's Day surprise with every order. I'm kind of curious more so what the surprise is. I feel like it's probably like a good dinner for two at Longhorn, and that's honestly, if that's what it is, that makes the $50 ring worth it. Get one and get this Valentine's Day surprise, and you got Valentine's dinner coming.
I think there's probably some husbands who love steaks that would
I like
absolutely
steak.
be like, okay, you know what, that is a Valentine booked, it's done, Valentine's Friday.
I suppose that's worth it then. Well, Ghirardelli Chocolate, is bringing back a popular Valentine's item. The Choco Lock. My God, everything is wearable for Valentine's. It's the Choco Locket. The idea is a celebration of Perfect Pairs Day, a celebration of the meaningful connection in our lives from romantic partners to the people who make every day better, like work besties and pickleball partners and brunch buddies and squad mates and all those people.
The Choco Locket is a custom crafted 14K gold-plated locket created to hold one mini Ghirardelli square inside. It's designed to resemble Ghirardelli's iconic gold foil wrapped chocolate squares.
And each pair arrives packaged with a bag of mini Ghirardelli squares, which fit neatly into the lockets to be enjoyed. So you can eat these. You can't eat the steak in the steak ring, but you can eat these.
So that makes it worth it.
That does. This limited edition set includes 2 lockets and will be available starting February 10th at chocolocket.com. Lots of great Valentine's. My Valentine's Day is already set then. I know exactly what I'm getting.
And it's set for work besties, so if you see us dripped out on the morning show with our Ghirardelli locket,
We're going to be rocking the bling, won't we? Be bling-tastic, Choco Locket bling. Okay, well, we're going to be back with Check Your Forecast right after this. All right. Again, it is we're going to get some melting done today. Upper 30s, maybe some low 40s. Flurries possible between 11 and 2, and then again, maybe this evening south of I-44. Not going to add up to anything, but it's possible. East winds gusting to 20. Into the evening, mostly cloudy, cold, much colder tonight, mid-teens, north winds 5 to 10. That is courtesy of a low pressure system. That's going to exit off to our east and bring our temperatures down. North winds gusting to 20 tomorrow, mid-20s. Teens, 20s, single digits, teens, very cold this weekend, so refreezing of anything that melts is going to be a concern through the weekend, so just watch out, be cautious, or if you're like me, you don't like the cold, just stay inside anyway. It'll keep you safe. Then next week looks fantastic. We are talking, it is almost time to fill up the swimming pool by next weekend, so we go into the 40s and low 50s, and some liquid showers, not frozen showers, possible late Tuesday into early Wednesday. So we got just a couple more days of this, and then it's going to get warm again.
Well, that's nice. Well, I don't know what. I don't know why that's making us lose.
That's nice.
I listen to you for so long every morning, and love the sound of your voice, Chris. It's great. But sometimes I just accidentally tone out a little bit, and I'm like, yes, that's great.
Well, we were going to share a story with the Kennel Club, but you know what? I tell you what, we'll save it for tomorrow for you because we are now out of time because that's nice. We'll see you back with more decent weather today at noon, I suppose.
Have a great rest of your morning.
That's nice.